we have done.
No, Ritika, I'm asking what is geography? What we study in geography?
Sir, it is basically the graph of Earth.
Mhm.
We study Earth, the graph of Earth, sir.
Graph of the Earth. So graph of the Earth consists of what?
Various landforms.
Like
There's physical geography and there's human geography. So
various
in physical
landforms like
geography, uh, landforms as like fold mountains and various mountains that are formed by various Earth movements.
mm-hmm. ठीक है चलिए okay what else
Um, I think there are a lot of things, sir. As in,
चलिए no problem. So let's have a quick revision of whatever we have done till now. So geography is a study of the surface of the earth. Actually it is that how the surface of the earth is created, like surface of the earth is created by various landforms like mountains, valleys, plains, then continents, then oceans, then there are some volcanic arcs, there are some volcanic islands. So there are various types of landforms which are found on the surface of the earth. So in geography, we study in physical geography, we study the geomorphology. Geomorphology means the process of formation of the various landforms that we have already done. We have studied how these landforms are formed. These landforms are formed because of the plate tectonic movements, and the various types of landforms are created due to the tensional forces. Some landforms are formed due to the compressional forces. Some landforms are formed due to the weathering, erosion. Some landforms are formed due to the earthquake. Some landforms are formed due to the volcanism, right? So there are some upward movement, there are some downward movements. So depending on various types of geological phenomena, various types of landforms are formed that we have discussed in the last session, like so and we have also discussed that which physical feature, like which landforms are formed in which particular continent, that also we have studied. We have studied the physical features of the world geography, that is what are the unique physical features of the Africa, then South America, then North America, then Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, we have discussed about Asia. We have also discussed about Europe, and we have also discussed
Yes.
about some of the landforms which are found in the island region, right? So, world physical geography we have finished. Like, so we have seen that geography means that the study of the surface of the earth, and how these landforms are formed, and how these landforms are get influenced by other factors. So one of the very important factors which influences the physical what you can say, the feature of the earth surface as well as the human being, because ultimately we need to study what is the influence or what is the impact of such type of geographical features, like maybe geographical features like mountain, geographical features like plain, geographical features like valleys, and what you can say islands. So how it influences the human life, that we are going to study. At the same time, we are also going to study how these landforms are influenced by the atmosphere, right? So atmosphere means what? Like all of you must be knowing what is the meaning of atmosphere. Atmosphere means surrounding, right? Surrounding to us, and it also has various aspects of that. So atmosphere is the envelope of gases surrounding the earth. So now whatever we have studied till now, we have studied only about the surface of the earth and interior of the earth, right? I guess we have also studied about the interior of the earth, the structure of the interior of the earth. There is the mantle, core, inner mantle, outer mantle, then lithosphere, Sial, Sima, then how the earthquakes particularly flows from one region to another region. That all is what you can see that we have already discussed. Altas, is it clear now? अल्तास सुनाई दे रही है अभी आवाज मेरी? Am I audible, Yasmin?
You're audible,
Gitanjali?
sir.
Gitanjali?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Check it. So atmosphere is, it's like we have discussed whatever we have discussed till now, that we have discussed about the surface of the earth and interior of the earth. Now we are going to discuss about the surroundings of the earth. Like, so we know that in the beginning itself, like when I was discussing about the origin of the earth, I told you that in the earlier phase of the formation of the earth, some gases have been released during the cooling down process of the goblet of fire of the earth. Not only earth, all the planets, like all the planets, when they were being cooling down, at a time some gases were released by them. So some of those gases were held by the gravity by earth as well as other planets as well. So atmosphere means what? Atmosphere is the envelope of gases surrounding the earth. There are various types of the gases which are surrounded by the earth, and these are actually held by the earth's gravitational force, that is held by gravity of the earth, right? So this atmosphere, this is called atmosphere, and we know that I told you in the beginning also that because of the unique atmosphere which earth has, there is an existence of life on the surface of the earth, right? So I have told you, like all of you remember that I told you in the beginning that why the life is existed only on the planet earth and why not on other planets in our solar system, because of that unique atmosphere. Like every planet has atmosphere, but that atmosphere is not like the atmosphere which we have. We means on the earth we have, and that unique structure and composition, that uniqueness is about what? That uniqueness about is about the structure and composition of the gases, and also it what you can say that uniqueness is about the temperature which it has maintained over a period of time. So the atmosphere is made up of gases and vapor and receives incoming solar energy from the sun, giving rise to what we call it as a climate. So whatever the sun rays are falling on the surface of the earth, when they are coming from the surface of the earth, and we know that the solar energy or the energy of the sun is the only source of the what you can say on the surface of the earth. So whatever the solar energy is coming from the surface of the sun and it falls on the surface of the earth, when it goes back, then these outgoing solar radiations are held by this atmosphere. So this a very important role is played by the atmosphere, because if there was no atmosphere and whatever the incoming solar radiation, which is called as insolation, like insolation means what? When the solar radiations are coming from the sun and when they are falling on the surface of the earth, they are called as incoming solar radiation. So whenever the insolations fall on the surface of the earth, it reflected back to the space again. So when they are reflected back, some of the outgoing solar radiations are absorbed by this atmosphere, and that absorption leads to maintenance of some temperature on the surface of the earth. So this atmosphere, which consists of gases and vapor, it receives solar energy from the sun, giving rise to what we call it as a climate. Got it? So one of the very important reason that why we have a climate on the surface of the earth, all the elements of climate, whether it is rainfall or whether it is pressure or whether it is wind, whether it is what you can say snowfall. So all types of climatic phenomena, these are because of the atmosphere. If there was no atmosphere on the surface of the earth, there was no envelope of the gases surrounding the surface of the earth, then there would have been no life on the earth. Got it? So, and because you know, and because of the atmosphere, the life started, because the human beings started, all plants and animals started. If it was not there, then there would have not have been what you can say any life on the surface of the earth. And that is why to study atmosphere becomes very crucial while studying the geography, right? So we live, actually there are various what you can say the structure, or there are various layers also on the atmosphere. Actually these layers are based on the density, and also it based upon the whether the temperature is increasing or the temperature is decreasing, that depends on that. So we are going to discuss about it in detail. But the we live, that we means human being, we live at the bottom of this indefinite layer of atmosphere where air is densest. So at the bottom the air is densest. As we move upwards, as we move, we can say at the height, then obviously the air becomes, or we can say less denser, it becomes more lighter, because of the decrease in the gravitational force. Since the gravitational force is more at the bottom of the atmosphere, there is more denser gases are available, and as we move upwards, the influence of the gravity of the surface of the earth decreases, and that is why the air becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, and ultimately after some height, that is around 6,000-meter heights, what happens, sorry, miles, 6,000 miles height, the atmosphere vanishes. So moving up, the air thins out and atmosphere extends up to 6,000 miles above sea level. Right? So any doubts about this atmosphere? What is atmosphere and why the atmosphere is important? You got it? Why we need to study atmosphere? Because atmosphere is the reason for the existence of life on the surface of the earth. Got it? Any
Yes.
doubts about? Any doubts about it?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Now, as I told you, that Earth's atmosphere is unique, and that uniqueness is in what? That uniqueness is in the composition of the gases. Like I asked you many times that question, that why there is no life on the moon, because moon do not have what you can say the gravity And since moon do not have its own gravity, obviously it is not having any atmosphere. And there are some other planets also, there is a gravity, they also have the atmosphere, but that atmosphere is not as like Earth's atmosphere, right? That the structure and composition of those atmosphere is not like Earth's atmosphere. So we need to check it out, what is the composition of the Earth's atmosphere. We say that the Earth atmosphere consists of gases. Then how much percentage of the gases the atmosphere consists of, that we need to see. Here you can see that nitrogen is around 78%, oxygen is around 20%, argon is around 0.93%, carbon dioxide is around 0.03%. In some books it has been mentioned at 0.004% as well, because of the global what you can say, the climate change, because of the increasing amount of the pollution, some amount of carbon dioxide has been increased, so that is mentioned in some of the books. But you can say that carbon dioxide is presented at a very minimal amount, like it is around 0.03 or 0.04. So the Earth atmosphere, maximum percentage of the Earth atmosphere is of nitrogen, and this is the reason we know that the plants and animals are what you can say growing are more compared to the human being. Can anybody tell me why the abundance of the nitrogen is the reason for the abundance of plants on the surface of the Earth compared to animals?
So you're not audible.
Is it okay now? Hello, is it okay now?
Yes.
One second, one second. Yeah. Hello, Faisal. Hello. Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. So what I was asking to you, I was asking that the abundance of the nitrogen on the surface of the Earth is the reason for the abundance of forest, abundance of plants and animals compared to the human beings or the animals on the surface of the Earth. Hello, Faisal. Sorry, I'm audible now.
Yes, sir.
Check.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I'm saying that because of the availability of nitrogen. So can anybody tell me why the availability of nitrogen, that or more availability of the nitrogen or abundance of nitrogen is a reason for more of what you can say, more of the plants on the surface of the Earth compared to the animals? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
But I asked one question. So did you hear the question?
Acts as the fertilizers.
Sorry.
It provides the proteins needed for the plants.
Yes. So nitrogen is the most essential, what you can say, the elements which is required for the growth of the plants, and that is provided by the gas. But again, obviously, the gases for nitrogen is converted into, now what you can say, the nitrites, and then only they can use it. So nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 20%, around 21% exactly. Then argon is around 93%, then carbon dioxide, neon, helium, ozone, and hydrogen. So other gases are found in what you can say in a minimal amount. So this uniqueness about what you can say the nitrogen, the oxygen, and carbon dioxide and other what you can say the gases leads to the existence of the life. Because if suppose the percentage of the carbon dioxide was more, carbon dioxide is called as greenhouse gas, right? We remember that greenhouse gases means the gases which absorb the outgoing solar radiations are called as greenhouse gases. So the example of the greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide, then we have methane, then we also have some other butane, propane, then even the cloud also absorb the outgoing solar radiation. If the amount of the carbon dioxide was more, and if the amount of the oxygen was less, or if the amount of the nitrogen was less, and obviously there would have been no life existed on the surface of the earth. So this unique composition, unique percentage of the gases which are available on the surface of the earth helped in formation or beginning of the life on the surface of the earth, and that is what is important, and that what you need to remember here. So here you can say that the thickness of the atmosphere is about 10,000 kilometers above the surface of the earth, that is around 6,000 miles. However, most of the meteorologists consider the top atmosphere at around 480 kilometers, that is around 300 miles. Pramod, are you there? Okay, Pramod that did join, but now he is not there. Fine. Okay. So next topic is that the structure of the atmosphere on the basis of composition. So the atmosphere is categorized into various what you can say the structures. One is about on the basis of the composition. Composition means the composition of the gases as well as the composition of what you can say the various types of what you can say the genes that is mentioned here. Homosphere is a zone where the constituent gases are fairly well mixed and composition is homogeneous throughout. The homosphere extends up to an altitude of 15 miles. That is around up to 15 miles. The structure of the or the composition of the gases on the surface of the earth is similar. Second is heterosphere lies above the hemisphere and is a zone of poor mixing where average composition varies depending on the location. So that is what is explained here. Now going to the next, that is the classification of the structure of the atmosphere, that is structure of atmosphere on the basis of temperature. So about 50% of the atmosphere is confined to 5.6%, that is up to and 97% up to 29 kilometers. So we can see that majority of the gases that we can see here. Now I'll go to the, this is actually the picture of the atmosphere. Here you can see that majority of the atmosphere is what you can say is in the lower layer, major lower layer. Upper layer have what you can see that more than what you can see the 50% and around above 400 miles. Only around what you can say 3% of the atmosphere lies here, because as we move upward, the gravity decreases, and since the gravity decreases, the thickness of the atmosphere also decreases. So about 50% of the atmosphere is confined to 5.6 kilometer and 97% up to 29 kilometer. On the basis of characteristics of the temperature and pressure, there are various layers of atmosphere. So you must have heard it, you must have seen it during the what you can say you must have seen it during the school days. The atmosphere is divided into troposphere, then stratosphere, then mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere, right? Those who are from Marathi medium or those who are from Hindi medium, they must be knowing that the atmosphere is converted into various types of one second, various types of what you can say the slates like tapanber, ayanamber, हे तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल. So ते आपण थोडंसं बघूया. Today we are going to discuss about it. What are the various structures of the atmosphere and how it is significant as well. Fine. So going to the first layer, that is called as troposphere. So can you all see that from the sea level, the first what you can see the first layer of the atmosphere is called as troposphere, right? So it extends up to 18 kilometer at equator and 13 kilometer at pole. So it means what? At poles, the gravity is what you can say less, and that is why we have what you can say that up to only 13 kilometer we have troposphere. So at the equator, the height of the troposphere is high. At the polar region, sorry, at the equator, the height of the troposphere is more, and it is high at the polar region. So what are the characteristics of this? Like this is the first layer. This is called as the troposphere. Can you all see this? First layer is called as troposphere. So this layer. Moin, am I audible now?
सर कट होके आ रहा आवाज.
At this time, there is like even last time also we were having tried to have class at 5 o'clock. There is a network issue. Okay, just give me a minute. I will change my network. I will try to change my hotspot. Just give me a minute.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay, is it fine now? Can you all hear and see the
Yes,
screen?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the lower layer of the atmosphere is called as troposphere, and in this troposphere, the characteristics of this troposphere is that if the temperature decreases as we move upwards, that is, as altitude increases, at the height increases, the temperature decreases. Now, what is the reason for the decrease in the temperature? I'm going to discuss in detail when I will be discussing the climate, various types of elements. I'm going to discuss about the temperature as an element of weather, and what is the reason why the temperature decreases from the as we move upward, that we will see. Okay, anyways, we will sit right now only. So we know that, can you all see the screen? Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
when the sun rays fall on the surface of the earth and when they're reflected back, when they fall on the surface of the earth and where they're reflected back, what happens then? That when they're reflected back, as we know that as we move upwards, the density of the gases decreases. And since the density of the greenhouse gases also decreases as we move upwards, the less outgoing solar radiations are absorbed by the surface of the earth or by the atmosphere, and that is why as we move upwards the temperature decreases. So the rate of the decrease in the temperature at the troposphere, and that is 6.4 degrees Celsius per 1000 meter, that is per kilometer. So as we move upwards in the troposphere, that in the atmosphere, so the temperature is decreased by 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer, right? So anyone knows what is the height of Mount Everest? Can you see here the height of the Mount Everest here?
So can
Yeah, the height of the Mount Everest is around 8848 meters. That is around 9,000. How I can say the meter, right? Around 9,000 meters. So obviously, uh, as we move upwards, up per 1 kilometer.
not audible, sir.
Is it okay now? Hello. Hello. Am I audible now?
So the voice is breaking
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right now.
Okay. So is it clear now?
Now it's clear, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So uh, as the temperature, sorry, as the density decreases, so the less outgoing solar radiations are absorbed, and that leads to decrease in the temperature. So the height of the Mount Everest is around 8, that is 9 kilometer, and per kilometer the temperature decreases by 6.4 kilometers, 6.4 degree. So obviously the temperature at the height, that is at the at the peak of the Mount Everest, it will be in minus, and that is the reason why there are snows which are available on the Mount Everest. So the temperature decreases. So that is what is mentioned here, that the temperature near tropopause. You know what this here, there is something called tropopause. Tropopause means what? Where the temperature decrease, what you can say, stops. That is what is called as tropopause, right? So troposphere, and where the temperature decrease stops, that is what is called as tropopause. The pausing of the fall in the temperature, that is called as tropopause. So at tropopause, the temperature is around, what I can say, is around 57 minus 57 degrees Celsius, right? So it is because that because it is because of this that the air navigations are conducted above this layer. Sorry, all the weather phenomena. Second point about the characteristics of the troposphere is that all the weather phenomena like fog, cloud, dew, frost, rainfall, hailstorms, cloud thunder, etc. occurs in this layer. So why all this cloud phenomena or all the weather phenomena occurs only in this what you can say the sphere, that we will discuss in the I will discuss sometime again. So here you can see that and that is the reason that all the air navigations are conducted above this layer. Like you must have seen that whenever the aeroplane tries to, what you can say, whenever it tries to, what you say, move upwards, so at the time we can see that there is some turbulence in the aeroplane. Like there are some turbulences in the aeroplane, and that turbulence in the aeroplane is because of what? The turbulence is because of, what you can say, these resistance created by all this, that is the hailstorms, clouds, and what you can say the dew and frost. And that is the reason why what you can say the when the aeroplane crosses this tropopause, and when it reaches here, that above the tropopause, then obviously it do not faces any what you can say the resistance from the climatic phenomena, and that is why the plane can move smoothly. So troposphere is the lower sphere, one of the lowest layer, and in this lowest layer, the characteristic is that the temperature decreases as the height increases, and we need to remember that the majority of the weather phenomena occurs in this layer, and that is called as troposphere. Any doubts about the troposphere?
Okay.
No. Okay. Now going to the next layer, that is stratosphere. So stratosphere, like actually there is no any such layer, as there is no any line as such. These classification, this space have been decided on the basis of whether the temperature is decreasing or whether the temperature is increasing. So in the stratosphere, which extends from 18 kilometer at the equator to or 8 kilometer at the poles up to 50 kilometers. So from above the tropopause, there is what you can say the stratosphere, and in the stratosphere that there is a reverse thing happens. The temperature increases as the temperature or as the height increases. So the temperature ranges between 57.6 minus 57.6 degrees Celsius and 0 degree. Here means what the temperature increases, it becomes 0 degrees Celsius and gradually rise upwards and is about 0 degrees Celsius at the stratopause. So here you can see the rise of the temperature increase. It stops at the stratopause, and that is what is called as stratopause, right? So stratosphere is between tropopause and the stratopause, and that layer is called as stratosphere. Okay, so here what you need to remember, in the stratosphere the temperature increases and it becomes 0 degrees Celsius at the stratopause. So strong and persistent winds, that is jet streams, flows in the stratosphere. So I am going to discuss about in detail what are jet streams and why the jet streams flows in the stratosphere, that we will discuss. But you need to remember here that the jet streams are found in the stratosphere. Okay, चलिए, going to in the lower part of the stratosphere there is ozone layer. So you need to remember that the ozone layer. Anyone remember what is ozone layer? One second. Hello. So ozone layer means there is a layer of ozone gases, and that also lies in the stratosphere. So in the lower part of stratosphere there is an ozone layer between the heights of 15 and 30 kilometers. This part is called as ozonosphere. Ozone layer absorbs ultraviolet rays. So here you can see that at the upward in the stratosphere, ozone layer is there. Can you see all this? This is an ozone layer, and this ozone layer protects the surface of the earth to what you can protect from the ultraviolet rays which are coming on from the surface of the sun. So ultraviolet rays are harmful to the human beings as well as to other plants and animals. So these ultraviolet rays are absorbed by the ozone layer, that we have already discussed when we were discussing about the in the environmental issues. I'm going to discuss in detail about the ozone layer, how this ozone layer is formed, how it helps in the maintaining the temperature of the earth, also how it helps in preserving of the life on the surface of the earth. That also I am going to discuss when I will be discussing atmosphere. But here you while we will be discussing the environment. Now here you need to remember that in the second layer of the atmosphere, that is in the stratosphere, there lies a ozone layer which absorbs the incoming ultraviolet rays. Now going to the next sphere, that is called as mesosphere. Now why it is called as mesosphere? Because it lies between two upper layers and two lower layers. So two lower layers, troposphere and stratosphere. Two upper layers, that is thermosphere and exosphere. So in between that there is an existence of the mesosphere, the middle sphere. The meaning of the mesosphere means the middle sphere. So in the middle sphere you can see here that in the middle sphere it extends from 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer. The temperature again starts decreasing. The why it is a separate layer? Because the characteristic that here the temperature again starts decreasing. It decreases at the troposphere, it increases at stratosphere, and again it starts decreasing at the mesosphere. And that is why here you can see the red line. Can you all see the red line here? Here there is a red line in the picture. this red line is actually helps us in understanding where the temperature increases and where the temperature decreases. So here you can see that first it decreases, then again it rises, then again it decreases, and then again it rises and rises and rises. So we go to the next, that is we will go to the mesosphere. So in the mesosphere, the temperature again starts decreasing with increase in height in this layer. This is because the layer is being heated from below. The ozonosphere present in the stratosphere provides the heat. The uppermost limit mesosphere is 80 kilometer, where the temperature becomes minus 80 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Celsius again, and is called as mesopause. So where the decrease in the temperature stops, where it pauses, that is called as a mesopause. And this mesosphere is significant because of one important thing, that whenever the meteors, anyone knows what are meteors? Meteors
Broken
means,
parts of the star.
sorry?
So, due to collision, if there are some broken parts of the stars or
Yes,
planets.
yeah, these are called as meteors, you are right. So whenever this meteors enters into the Earth's atmosphere, these meteors are what you can say burnt into the due to the frictional forces created in this mesosphere. So like sometimes when we see in the sky, we see that some meteors are burnt, some meteors are what it looks like what you can say the meteor showers. So actually we say that like the what you can say Tara toot gaya. Actually Tara nahi tuta hua hota, it is actually what it is that it is actually the meteor sphere which has entered into the Earth's atmosphere, and due to the frictions created at the mesosphere, there is what you can see it looks like what you can say it is burning. So in the meteors which are known as the shooting stars enters the mesosphere, they get heated due to the frictional resistance experienced by them due to the air. So all of the meteors are burnt and vanished into the mesosphere. That is what is the significance of mesosphere, right? So only 1 minute is left. I guess the meeting will be ended. We will have more 10 to 20-minute discussion. So you can join by using the same link again to start the class. So just I'm ending the classes again. You can join again by using the same link. I'm going to discuss few more details about the atmosphere today.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So just let the meeting to be ended. We will start again.